If you manage a remote team, you've probably asked yourself a frustrating question at least once. How do you keep people engaged when you barely see them? And honestly, that question makes sense. In an office, engagement is easier to read. You can tell who looks energized, who's checked out, who needs support, and who just needs a clearer direction. But remote work hides all of that. A person can look completely fine on Slack while quietly feeling disconnected, overworked, or invisible. That's why remote employee engagement has to be built on purpose. A lot of companies think engagement means doing something fun. Maybe a virtual happy hour, an online game, or a casual team chat. And sure, that stuff can help a little. But it's not the foundation. Real remote engagement comes from something much simpler and much stronger. Clarity, connection, recognition, and a work system people can actually live with. Let's start with clarity. One of the biggest reasons remote employees disengage is because too much is left vague. People are told to be proactive, collaborative, or strategic, but nobody explains what that actually means in daily work. And when expectations stay fuzzy, people start guessing. They overwork, undercommunicate, or pull back because they're not sure what good performance even looks like. That's why engaged remote teams usually have strong communication norms. People know what their priorities are. They know how updates should be shared. They know when something needs a meeting and when it can stay async. It sounds basic, but basic is what works. Then there's connection. Remote employees do not need forced fun. They need real human contact that doesn't feel fake. That can be as simple as a good one-on-one, a quick check-in at the start of a meeting, a shared channel for wins, or regular conversations that are not only about problems. When people feel known, they engage differently. They speak up more. They care more. They stop feeling like a floating username. Recognition matters too. A lot. One of the fastest ways to lose remote employees is to make their work feel invisible. If the only time someone hears from a manager is when something is wrong, engagement drops. Fast. People need specific recognition. Not just great job, but great job handling that client issue so calmly, or great job cleaning up that workflow and making the handoff easier for everyone. Specific recognition tells people that their effort is seen, and that matters more than a lot of leaders realize. But praise alone isn't enough. Remote employees also need growth. They need coaching. They need to feel like their role is going somewhere. If all they ever do is finish tasks and move to the next one, they eventually stop caring about the bigger picture. Managers need to talk about development, not just deadlines. And then there's the system itself. This is where many remote teams quietly lose people. Too many meetings. Too many tools. Too many messages. Not enough boundaries. If your team is constantly checking email at night, jumping between apps, or sitting in meetings that should have been a written update, engagement will suffer even if the culture sounds positive on paper. So sometimes the best way to engage remote employees is not to add more. It's to remove the junk. Cut unnecessary meetings. Simplify tools. Document processes better. Respect off hours. Fix bad handoffs. That kind of cleanup can change the entire feel of a team. At the end of the day, remote employees stay engaged when work feels clear, human, fair, and sustainable. Not performative. Not chaotic. Not lonely. If you're building a remote team, this is also why hiring matters. It's much easier to create a strong remote culture when you hire people who already communicate well, work independently, and handle async collaboration without constant supervision. That's one reason platforms like HireBasis can be useful. They can help you find remote talent that actually fits the way remote teams need to work. So if your team feels a little flat right now, don't panic. Start smaller than you think. Clarify expectations. Improve manager check-ins. Recognize work better. Reduce friction. Build connection in ways that feel natural. That's how remote employee engagement gets stronger. Not overnight, but steadily and for real.